legal advice or to even have money to able to pay for the legal fees. So these are some of the disadvantages the property sellers are taking on the poor investors like the teachers, the nurses, and the security personnel in this country, and especially the diasporans who are not present physically. This is one of this is another reason why we come up with the report. And another reason that we come up with the report, like I said, I think I need to go deeper down. The foreigners, foreign nationals are coming to the country. They are purchasing property, and the law clearly spell out that there is a certain amount of meter square that should not be sold to a foreign national. But these laws are hugely violated by the property sellers. So we also deem it necessary that the authorities should also look into these matters. Because if there is a law that says that not more than 250 square meters supposed to be sold, or 600 meters supposed not to be sold to a foreign nationals, and we are seeing foreign nationals are purchasing kilometers by kilometers, where are the unborn generation going to house themselves in this country? Again, if you look down further, you understand that the people that are into this business are hiding behind some of the recognized figures in the country. Our research has shown this as well. So it's like people are just doing this vehement corruption with some of the authorities at positions. So we deem it necessary that the Regional Land Committee at the National Assembly should also understand this and take note. Like I said, we have solutions. We have highlighted some of the solutions that need to be done, but we also have some constraints. I think before going to the solutions, we should go into the constraints quickly, because I would not want to take much of your time. We have constraints of mobility, because we only stopped at the Greater Banjul area or the West Coast region. And when we are talking about national issue, it's not supposed to be restricted within a single region or two regions. Now, if you look at the train in the West Coast region, there is not land, especially in the KMC, there is no land left. The land misuses, like I said, we need to look at land uses and land misuses. Recreational center in the KMC or in the West Coast region, there is no recreational center. Very few. No garages. The Ministry of Land, through the physical planning, will give approvals to real estate industry, real estate agencies, and they will know that these people are selling hectares of land, for instance, in the Combo South. Because right now, the Gambia, everywhere, everybody is concentrated. The land sales is highly concentrated in the Southern Combo. There is no bush remaining. Now the real estate agencies are attacking our forest. The ministry or the physical planning issuing approvals to the 8 state agencies know exactly where these sales are taking place, without catering for recreational centers, without catering for schools, without catering for cemetery. I have made research more than, you will look at about 10 kilometers. There will be no single cemetery within that vicinity. That is sad. We are living to die. There will be no single space for senior secondary school. Then we will come back to what we are facing in the early 80s and the 90s. That will force some parents to take their children down to their friends or to family members for them to go to school. And the trend will always continue if we do not take heed. because people are only interested in the commercialization of land. Like I said, agricultural farmland, people will register agricultural farmland from the 80s. We've seen these documents, 80s, 70s, as early as 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. But now they are applying for change of land uses from agricultural land to residential lands. And the government or the minister is giving them option, is either we take 40% of the land to maintain it as agricultural land, or you pay money. And investors will gladly pay money instead of losing 40%. And you look at this 40% also, for instance, if you are not lucky enough, they insist that you should give them a property of the land of size of the 40% of the change of land use that you applied. This 40% will be again sold to individuals, to friends. Now, the second part of constraint includes equipment and materials. We need equipment. We do not have gadgets, and we need gadgets right now. We are living in a technology world that we need more gadgets like the laptops and others, cameras, so that we can able to do massive sensitization on TVs. And also this also requires funding. Media is very expensive in this country. And not everybody can able to log into social media because it requires data. And in fact, we made research about 60% of the purchasers of this property are illiterates. So they cannot go into social media or YouTube to be able to watch some of our programs, some of our sensitization programs that we host. Sometimes when we approach some of these TVs, all of these TVs, in fact, they request money. So this is also, and this is a huge amount of money. For the past four years, apart from last year and this year, some of the real estate are sponsoring us, but we stopped them. Why? Because we don't want to be liability. The real estate that are sponsoring us, if they see their logo, purchasers or investors see their logos on TV screen, on our program, they'll be easily convinced that these people are doing the right thing, whilst those people are not doing the right thing. So we sit and discuss to ourselves that most of this real estate sponsoring our TV program or TV shows are the one, in fact, scamming people, because people will come back to us. For instance, real estate A, real estate B, we purchase property from them, but we still are unable to get our property, our document, or no allocation. And when we look at their names, we see their names in the list of the sponsors. So we say that we are not doing justice to the public. Because if you should take us as a role model, or you should trust us that we are the one doing the property vetting for you, so that we can able to direct you that you can go and buy from real estate B. And you are seeing those real estate B, we are dining and wining with them on TVs. So that's the reason why we stopped real estate not to sponsor our program for 2 years now. Real estate are there, they are having money, they do approach us. If you want, we can sponsor you $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 for a year. But what are we doing? Which means that we are also propagating fraudulent. So that's the reason why we stopped. So another constraint that we have is that we also want to, like I said, we also want to do some regional meetings with the chiefs, with the alcalos, so that we can also sensitize a lot of alcalos, because we've done that with the West Coast region. We met the alcalos, we told them to change their form, their transfer form, because we need a detailed transfer form. We cannot just be from A to B, this and that. We want more detailed, 2-3 witnesses. And we also encourage the alcalis to go do site visits, because our research has shown that most of these properties you purchase, 2 people will jointly purchase 1 property, or 3 at most sometimes. This is as a result that the alcalis themselves do not go for site visits. Somebody will just come to the alkali's house and say that our compound, our Kabilo compound, or our clan compound, our clan land that is behind the baobab tree, we are selling it. And Ibrahim, next tomorrow, Ibrahim from the same family can come and say we are selling our property. Whilst alkalis are sitting in their comfort zone, they do not do this side visit. They do not know exactly which property is being sold. So that brings the reputation of property sold silent to different individuals. And now we see that the investors are now crossing to the North Bank region because there is not much space in the West Coast region. If you go to the North Bank region right now, people are holding properties. Real estate are investing hugely because only those people with with much money can able to purchase property in the West Coast, in the Congo South now. Now, if you go to the Dimbaya end, there's no property left. Brikama South. People are going as far as Kamilai now. Kamilai, Phonis, to the North Bank region. And this place were once agricultural powerhouse. Now, what if in the next 5-10 years, the people that are purchasing this property are not interested in doing any farm. All their interest is just to hold it, fence it, and demarcate it, sell it to individuals for habitat. So this is very important. So that's the reason why sometimes we also want to go, before they reach there, we sensitize the indigenous people there, the indigenes, and also the alkali, so that they can be able to restrict who sells land and how to sell it and to who. So again, we would like to go quickly onto the solutions. Perhaps we are expecting some questions to be asked, so we can go to the solutions. Solution A that we talked about is controlling the land sales industry or agencies. How can we be able to control the land sales? We as an expertise in this area, we believe we can able to distinguish real estate, because when the name real estate, when it appears, you look at the rightful meaning of real estate. It's not in conformity of what is happening in this country. Most of them are brokers, but they call themselves real estate agencies. We advise the government to look and differentiate their purpose and the license given to them. Most of the real estate, we understand that about 40% of the estate agencies registered, they do not even have 20 by 20 in their names. They sell for others. Or one inheritable property they have, they registered. My father had a property in Busumbala or Busura, then they demarcate it and start registering as a real estate. As tiny as this country is, you have about 100 real estate agencies. Where are they thriving? So we believe that the government should be able to look into the definition and their mode of operations to see and able to give them a different license. And also number two, like I said, the licensing, real estate licensing is very important. We believe different licenses supposed to be given to different real estate agencies. Developers with their license, property managers with their license, and retailers or brokers with their license, so that this can give a clear head to the customers or the consumers where to go. But you go to a small real estate agency, they tell you that we can do construction, we can do land sales, we can do documentation, we can do this, we can do they don't have a single expert in that office. If you realize, you will agree with me that real estate has now gradually turned to money to financial bureaus. Real estate will have the audacity to go to the TVs and radio station, advertise and tell people, that the general public, that you can purchase a property as long as a duration of 5 years, $200,000 for 5 years. And they do not have a single expert, financial expert in that office. that brings the problem, according to our research. Because if they are paying bit by bit monthly, poor people are paying their $5,000 monthly, $3,000 a month up to 3 years, land, the price of land appreciates in this country. You agreed with me in a contract of $250,000 after 3 years. After 3 years, that land appreciates to $500,000, and you tell me to transfer that land to you. Whereas your money has been paid in bits and pieces, and I use the money to buy expensive vehicles. That's what that's the thing. We go to small boys and having this rally, they are driving 8-cylinder vehicles. How do you think you can be able to meet your target? That's one of the reasons why police stations are stormed with land cases in this country. After 3 years, after 4 years, there is no money for refund, and they use the people to say that we are allocating them. We are reallocating you. So another factor is the systematic. We also believe that that's number 3. Systematic data arrangement and digitization will also help. So the data arrangement. This means we should have arrange data, whereas we know how many property is being sold at a certain time for a period, so that we can able to know the land uses and the land misuses and the remaining virgin land that we have in this country. For God's sake, Gambia is naturally endowed with only 2 things, that's land and sea. But unfortunately, these 2 natural endowments are overlooked by the government. And this is where the Gambians' life depends on. We do not have diamond yet, we do not have crude oil, we do not have anything except the land. And land is open to anyone. We are seeing foreigners operating as realtors in this country. Real estate agencies. We are not saying that foreigners will not operate. We are not saying that. Gambians are living in other countries operating their businesses. But there should be checks and balances. It cannot just be a free flow. We have 30 minutes to go. Yes. Let me just go quickly. And also ownership identification. We also understand, we also believe that property owners are supposed to be identified. We know who owns this property. And the number 5 is commercial and residential evaluation and taxation. We should also evaluate the commercial zones and residential zones. If, for instance, let me just give a quick example. You can see one Mr. Alpha will own 3 or 4 different study buildings in this country with tenants. These tenants, Mr. Alpha will be generating millions of dollars. What is the Gambia government earning from this industry? Tenants are paying millions of dollars to one single person, and $0 is going to the Gambia's coffers. So we understand, we do our research, we come up with a point that if we are given the mandate to control this industry, we can be able to generate nothing less than $200 million annually for the government. How many stores? There are some individuals, they have more than 50 stores in their names. And each of these stores, they are collecting $200,000 in per annum. If you go to Europe, I've made some research in Europe. For the past 3 years, every year I go to Europe at least 1 or twice to go and see how their property management goes, especially in the Turkeys. Government depends, in UK, government depends hugely on such taxations. The land is supposed to be, right now, we have to move to another level. It cannot just be anybody who's supposed to sell land. Because we see that if you sell land to me, that costs $1 million, I paid $1 million to you. You go to GRA for capital gain tax, you can go and tell GRA that we purchase this land for $200,000, whilst you purchase $1 million just to run away from paying tax. But if we have a data system arrangement, who are to buy land, who are to sell land, these are identified. There's been less cheating. So government is losing more than $150 million in this arena alone. Again, you go to just 2 minutes. I will quickly finish this. You go to the solutions again. Involvement of alcalos into our system. We have to make sure that the alcalos are brought into the system. We cannot operate this alone without the alcalis. And number 8, the last one, the final one on solution, rental and ownership revenue. Like I said, people are paying high amount of money, rent fees in this country to their owners. But what is the owner paying to the government? This is the question. You know somebody, a friend, a family member, or uncle, or neighbor, who is collecting nothing less than $1 million annually on rent. But this person, how much is he paying back to the government? So it's like the Gambia, our natural endowment is just left open for anybody. That's why the gap between the poor and the rich is always widening in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dabo. I will now. Good afternoon once again. Thank you very much, CEO, for that wonderful overview of the report that was submitted to the committee. We are very much grateful because as a concerned citizen of the country, it is always important that matters that are of public concern be raised, and then so that we can look at it together and holistically we can come up with a very good solution. Land dispute is definitely, as you stated, is known to everybody now, and it is also very important to us as a committee. And to that effect, we have lots of engagements. We have engaged with the ministry, with also physical planning department just a few weeks ago. We invited them here so that they can give us a report on, the issues of these real estate agents. And we are trying to see how best we can work with them to make sure that we find a possible solution to the issues that are always raised by people. As a researcher and as a consultant, with these reports, I think it is also important that they are also shared with Ministry of Lands and also with the Physical Planning Department. It is very, very sad when I went through it and have seen that licenses are given to foreign investors in this country. I think this is, it's not bad, because we also have our people who are investing in other countries, but there should be a control mechanism so as to make sure that they did not invade our lands and then just leave us in pain like that. When you say 40% of sales at some agencies are aiming at non-Gambians, in other words, our land are being sold to foreign nationals without factoring due processes. Were you able to come up with a particular data that would be able to show the amount of land that has been sold to non-Gambians? Because, as you said, there is a policy that, a foreigner cannot own more than 25 meters square in single community or residential area. 25. More than 25,000. 2,500 meters, yes. Yeah, more than 2,500 meters square in a single community or residential area. So I think it is also very important, and it will be helpful if you gather, let's say, more information as in a form of a data that would show us. I think that would also be shared with, if possible, with the physical planning department, so as to help us, come up with possible solutions. Like I said, it is very sad. The land disputes in the country is very sad. But I think, according to the permanent secretary last engagement and the ministry, they are also trying to call these, real estate agents to come and register with them. And one of these important questions that we raised during the last meeting was, there are these social amenities that are needed whenever these, lands are demarcated, like cemetery that you say. We always need to see that, in this particular land that is demarcated for us, for an estate, they must show us where the cemetery, the location of the cemetery, the school, hospitals, and all that. But you see that in gaining the authority from them, they would provide it and show it in their landscape. But then with time, they will in turn resell all those things. So these are all factors that we have to put together and then see how, we resolve this dispute. And I have to commend you also for taking it upon yourself to resolve disputes that has, happened between individuals, between alcalos, between locals, and between real estate agents. That's really commendable. But like I said, you really need to work with the ministry, because I don't think you can do it alone. You have to put efforts together with the ministry and together with physical planning, and to make sure that you work towards achieving all these things. I think there should be possible ways of solving the problem if we put hands together. And I thank you so much for this effort, and then for reaching out to us as well, because this is what we need to do as Gambians. Let us look at how we put collective efforts together. We don't have to wait for outsiders to do it for us. And it's a thumbs up from me that we have an individual, a Gambian citizen who is of concern, to make sure that he try to find, with his limited resources, ways of gathering certain information that would be of help to the committee. So I thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon, BB Consultancy. For lack of time, I think I could be contented with the interventions of the Honorable Member for Sawasanjal. He did justice to what he said. And I share his opinion, and also shared your opinion, your position on all that you have revealed here. Just to add that on the final recommendations, the detailed information you have revealed here are very important and vital, but they are not part of this. I don't know whether you will be ready to share that with the committee, but those things are very important. You've also raised the 1 million issue. I'm not sure you say something. They are paying 1 million, and who eats it? I think.
Yes. What I'm saying, can I?
Yeah, you can come after before the chairman will give you back the floor to remark on some of the intervention. Yes, because of lack of time.
Yes.
I would shorten what I've wanted to say, and also you've raised key issues like government losing a lot of tax on rent, and that's a fact. All of these buildings and other things, they are being paid a lot of millions, sometimes annually, sometimes every 6 months, but government loses a lot of revenue in terms of what we should collect as tax. I'm not sure whether your research can confirm, because sometimes you hear that some of these rent premises are asked for dollars, and this has a negative impact on our currency against foreign currencies. You understand? Maybe your research, you can confirm
it's
that.
In the report.
Yes, it's okay. I have not delved into the report because I just received it now, this morning. And these are huge things. Honestly, to be fair with you, you've highlighted very serious issues here that are affecting our country economically, and this is true because you have passion for it. And I think the government, like the Honorable Caesar has said, should make very good use of your agency in order to to share the expertise and build up certain regulations and policies that will safeguard the land use in this country and also the economic space we have in this. So it is very important. Yes, I think those are the few things I wanted to highlight. The data you have also. You know, this is something the ministry should be keen in engaging you. So that because you raise issues here, even if somebody asks ministry here, they cannot provide it. They can't. You know, the physical planning is the most usually one of the most useless units in the government of this country since first in the republic. You know, and other. In fact, the Ministry of Local Government and Lands is the most neglected ministry successively in all these governments from the first republic to now, and this is why we are all in this mess. Things you have said here should have been in place 30 years ago, 40 years ago, because you know every other thing you talk about in this country are all on land. The resources we have are all on land, so it should be the most protected, commodity in this country. Because if you lose it, we lose everything. So I think your deliberation, your presentation is very insightful, but also very frightening as well, because anybody who has concern for this country, you've highlighted issues here that it's time to get and address it, and now. We cannot wait any longer. The issues of logistics as well, you know, because I don't know whether the service, because you said you've settled around about 178 cases. Do you charge services for that? How do you settle it? Do you charge services for people who bring complaints and all those things as a consultancy? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Just 2 minutes. Thank you very much, Mr. Dabo, for that detailed presentation. And then I applaud all of you being a good citizen, because by going through your report, definitely I'm very satisfied, because I can see you are all concerned, and this is a very serious matter. My only worries, I have seen you have listed some estate agencies who I know at the moment, or since 2-3 years back, I've seen so many people going to court with them. There is even a court case right now at the court with those people. So I don't know how do you gauge those people and then list them among those who are at least trying. Yeah, so I want to know how do you do that, because for me particularly, I know them and I have been there with so many people trying to address some issues, but still we have those cases in the court. And then, as you also mentioned in your report, sometimes when you also go to the courts, the person who bought the land from these people, you end up sometimes, discouraging, because it is not what you expect or what should be done you will have at the courts. Sometimes you lose your land, you lose your money, and you see the individual. As I'm saying, last time when the minister was here, I said this. I have seen somebody who said, if he see this man, wherever he see him, he will attack him, whether in a car, in his compound, wherever. That's a catastrophe. That man he have discouraged. He have gone to the police, gone to the court, nothing. He said, wherever I put my eyes on this man, I'll fight him. I said, no, you will put yourself. This is something that I know, and then I'm on it every day. And then that real estate agency, I've seen it. I have seen them here, so I don't know how they get into this. And then the minister was saying also, with all these estate agencies, I think he said not even more than 10 who are complying or registered with them. They also said they are coming with a unit that will perform oversight function on all these real estates, and they have given them ultimatum, like deadlines to come forward and then make all their registrations. So for that one, it needs to be considered. Also, when you said others were offering money like 500,000, $1 million to you, and then you said no, that was a very brilliant idea. If you receive that money, for me, I will not see nothing like credibility. There will be no credibility. If you are fighting for the people, for the society, for the citizens, and these real estates, you are receiving money from them, there is no credibility, there is no reliability anymore. So that was my concern. Thank you very much.
Yeah, what you are submitting to us is different from the one that you submitted to us is different from that one that you are reading. So maybe you can give us the updated version. And I think it's also important that you make extra copies for all the National Assembly members so that we share it with them, because this dialogue is going to continue. As been said by our members, we just met the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, and they had discussed a lot of issues. And these are things that we are pushing. We want to see a bill that will come that will regulate all these real estates in this country. As you rightly said, Combo South, you go to the chief's courthouse every Wednesday. Sometimes they are there up to 7 o'clock in the evening. 10, 15, 20 cases is all land case. So these things are alarming, and the amount of monies that are involved in these things are not recoverable. So I think this is a good initiative. What we want to do, we want to start the dialogue, but it needs to be sensitized and get to the people who matters, and that so that everybody knows what is happening around the country. So maybe if we can just quickly answer those questions that are asked by the members and the ones that I've just sent and highlighted, then we can close this session for today and see whether we can have a better place where we will invite all these key stakeholders and then have a second round of discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Yes, I'll start with your question. Our relationship with the regional governor. Officially, we do not have any official relationship with the governor. We were working directly with the former minister, that's Musa Drame, and permanent secretary. He knows me personally. We've been engaging with them, and also with the IG's office, because sometimes we file case against some of these fraudulent dealers. So we file case from our office to the serious crime, and we make sure that they refund this money. This is one of the mechanisms that we use so that we can able to get our clients, especially the people that report the matter to our office, so that they can get back their land or they get their money. On the side of the report that I'm reading is the same report. It's just a deeper down explanation. I think all what I have read here, it's in the report. It's just that I've just make it more, because this is as a more detail. I'm explaining it is different from what is written. Yeah, the recommendation part is there. Of course, yes, it's there. If you go to the report, you look at the recommendation. Because right now our aim.
But the report is stopped at 6 and we went up to 8.
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying provide us with the detailed recommendation that you have on your.
I will do that.
Yeah.
I'll share that with Madam Giba, and she will share it with the rest of the people present here. And also, you talk about the real estates that are involved or that are listed in the report. Yes, our recommendations or our research does not only go by hearsay. We make sure that the people that reported their case to our offices, if those complaints reach our office, and when we make contacts with those real estate, we make sure that they refund their monies. There's an honorable member in the National Assembly right now, not sitting here, but he filed a case about 20 plots, and we make sure that that particular real estate allocate those individuals. So if those cases reported to us, we make sure that it is settled. If it is not settled, you are not qualified even to sponsor us. So some of these facts are based on our relationship and the report that we receive from consumers or from customers. Yes, of course, consultations. The consultations and site visits. Consultations we charge and we do site visits for you, and also if your yes, the 1 million that I was just given an example. For instance, a property could cost $1 million or $2 million. Yes, come on. A property could cost $2 million in the Combo. We all know the property market value in the Gambia. Sometimes property, it is listed, I highlighted that in the report. 20 by 20 in the Combo, it costs up to $20 million, for instance. Yes, what I'm saying is, I'm giving an example still that a real estate can collect up to $1 million from different individuals. And they will not provide any single property for those people. And if the frustrated customers go to the police station or go to the court, it becomes fruitless. So this is sad. And also you ask about the foreigners investing or foreigners having license to operate in this country, of course, and also the 40% of some of the real estate agencies that are targeting foreign investors or foreigners, and this money is being paid in hard currency. It is in the report. Because of some of these tenants, some of these houses, the tenants are requesting dollars. They will ask the shop owners or the office owners to pay in hard currency. So what we are trying to do here is we are looking for a public-private partnership with the government so that our office can take charge of this, the licensing of the real estate, to be able to help the government to be able to differentiate their work as per our expertise. We can be able to handle these agencies and this industry. And we also, like I said, we have realized that there are a lot of hundreds of millions of dollars that the Gambia government is losing. Because 40 years ago, 50 years ago, there was no need for such things because people were not much interested in land in this country. There was not much rural urban migration. But now, the need for land or investment in property is high. If you look at the sub-region, Gambia is the most expensive country when it comes to property. I've been to Liberia, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Ghana, from my own pocket, doing research. If you come to the building materials, raw materials, they are most imported. Some of these countries, some of them, like Senegal, they have basalt. They have other raw materials they can able to build. But in the Gambia, what do we have apart from the sun? And the sun, we are losing the sun itself. Because if you look at the rate of construction going on, if there is no limitation and some restriction, we will lose our sun. So, like I said, someone said that it's like, this is not a threat, but it's a severe warning to the Gambia government. Our report is sending signal because land, we have seen casualty between land disputants. How many cases in Gunjur it happens? It happens in Farato, in Lemon. People lose their life. So what are we doing to able to make sure that this menace ends? Or at least to mitigate? So this is our aim. We put some of these solutions, and our aim and objective is to look for public-private partnership with the Gambia government, because we understand that they cannot do it. They cannot do it. Someone mentioned about the physical planning. Physical planning, if you look at the physical planning report, the approval, it is beneath there, the last line, this document does not suggest ownership. Physical planning supposed to upgrade their systematic operation. Of course, we understand their primary responsibility is to distinguish or to say whether it is a farmland or residential, commercial, and industrial. Yes, of course. But you cannot just bring a document and you ask for approval. And it has been approved. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dabo. We are just wrapping up, and as I said give us the updated version of your report, and then we will collect the report, and then our subject matter specialists will also have to engage them, and then we will try to call for a tripartite meeting between the ministry again, the real estate owners, and also all the agencies that are involved in this thing, in this land issue. Once again, on behalf of the committee and our subject matter specialists and our staff, we want to thank you. It's up. It's already up. Okay.
Sorry for coming late. I wanted to take time to acquaint myself because I was a bit late. Just a clarification, a small clarification. Chair did mention the need to liaise with the local councils, for example. So you did mention that you had a cordial relationship with the with the former minister, and also you are very much acquainted with the permanent secretary. Was it a formal process? If it was a formal process, so how is that? I have two questions. One, how is that process now with this new administration, with this new minister? And secondly, do you have a legal unit? And if yes, how do you guys coordinate that with, like, for example, I might have a case of my own. I might go to court directly to be able to deal with my own case, for example, but I would opt to use BB Consultancy, for example. So how does that coordination?
Okay, first we have an official engagement with the ministry, not the minister itself, but the ministry. We have an official engagement with the former minister himself, and also the permanent secretary, because there are some cases that sometimes even the permanent secretary would recommend for our consultancy or our office to handle. Sometimes if we have complicated matter, we will write letter requesting the ministry permission and the police interventions permission that we want to take up certain case at our level so that we can able to make that dispute settled. And bravo to us, there is no case from the ministry or from that from the police that we are unable to settle yet. For instance, the Combo North Chief, Mr. Cham, he can acknowledge this. In fact, right now there are about 2 cases that he wants to hand over to me. Just last night we were talking. So the legal part of it, no, we do not have any legal group that we work. We also, if we see that the case is highly complicated, and if you look at the report, we put it there. If it involves legal sensitivity that we do not go into much, we only settle it at our level that we can able to handle. And someone was asking about the sorry, anyway, I think I've answered that question. And also the report has been sent to the ministry. In fact, the ministry, they are the first to receive our report, and the State House, then the committee. And we received a letter, a response from the Office of the President, asking the ministry to engage us. This letter is dated on the 27th of December. But I talked to the permanent secretary 2 weeks ago. He said that they were so engaged in this local government, whatever. So they will give me time to engage me so that we can have a talk. But personally, he invited me to a week ago, telling me that the president has received the report and they went through it, and the president is very impressed about this. So he wants me to talk with him first before I said, okay, fine. Then he called me, I went to his office, we have a chit chat over the report and what is my aim. I told him that right now we need, all I want is a public-private partnership, because I know your office cannot handle it. I was just joking with him. I said that your office, I love this man, so we laughed and he said no problem, he would like to invite me. And I would like to thank the chair and also the committee in general for this invitation. I'm so happy, because I believe the Ministry of Land is supposed to be the first department or avenue to create that avenue for us. But unfortunately, they received the letter, our report as early as November, but we were not called. And we sent a letter, the report to the Office of the President. Fortunately, after 2 weeks, we were called. But it coincided with the death of the former Vice President. So he sent a letter that he could not meet us, but he assigned, or he delegated the ministry to have a dialogue with us, and later they can send a report and what we want to do and how the government can able to assist our company. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. As I said, the engagement continues, and then we'll take it from there. And then maybe your meeting with the minister or the ministry will be very important, and that will give us some highlights and the way forward. So can somebody move that we adjourn this session, Sainadai? Seconder? It has been moved and seconded. We adjourn this session, Sainadai, until further notice. The meeting is so afternoon. Thank you.